Well, hello there, people of the internet, hello again, I'm TheMBmulti. Welcome to, I believe this is part 40 of Doki Doki Blue Skies. In the previous episodes, we entered Act 3 of the game with Sayori. Things were going well, but then we walked home with Yuri, because Yuri was feeling very lonely, and she just wanted to talk with me a little bit about it. She wanted to vent a little bit. And then my character, being a little bit more of a dense idiot, talked about that to Sayori, which in of itself isn't a problem, but the way he worded his things, just like with the Yuri route, were a bit questionable, especially when you know what Sayori is going through. And then Sayori was, of course, upset about that and left my house after we wrote poems together. Okay, this is the next day apparently. Feeling refreshed after a decent night's sleep, I'm patiently waiting for Sayori. The winter chill really has no mercy, especially this early in the morning. Thankfully, Sayori isn't particularly late, and before we know it, we're on our way to school. Hey, Mark. Yes, Lady Sayori, how can I be of service on this fine winter morning? I was curious. Who's your favorite club member? Not including you? I don't really have any, to be honest. None of them are as awesome as you. Come on. You've got to like one of them more than the others. I narrow my eyebrows. Where is this question coming from? Why the sudden interest? I just wanted to know how well you're getting along with the others. Definitely not Natsuki, for obvious reasons. I never got the feelings that she likes me, plus it's always really awkward when it's just the two of us. I spoke to her alone once last semester and it was a painful experience. What about Monika? Compared to Natsuki, we definitely get along a lot better. She looked super appreciative when I told her how much I liked the club just before we performed. But to be honest, she's always been a little intimidating. I never really scratched the back of my head. You know, being the perfect student and all. Maybe I'm imagining it, but sometimes I get the impression that she might look down on me. Don't get me wrong, I definitely appreciate all of her hard work for the club and all. Much like Natsuki, we've never really spent time together, so I wouldn't really say she's my favorite either. So, what about Yuri? Unless I'm mistaken, Sayori is trying really hard to be nonchalant. It isn't working particularly well. Well, yeah, I'd probably say her. I mean, I've got to know her a little better over the last semester, and she went from someone who could barely maintain eye contact with me to someone who agreed to shopping with me when it was just us. I've enjoyed seeing her come out of her shell to allow me to see the real her, I guess. Ah, okay. That's what I thought. Sayori, is everything okay? I noticed that you left kinda abruptly last night after we talked about Yuri. Did you guys have an argument or something? I really can't imagine those two having a fallout, of all people. It's extremely rare for Sayori to get angry, along with the fact that their personalities don't clash at all. So what could it be? Oh, of course not, silly. I was just a bit surprised at how friendly she's been with you recently, that's all. Given how shy she is, I'm just curious to, I'm just a bit surprised, that's all. Right. School is looming in sight, so unfortunately our conversation will have to end here. So as you can tell, the 1930s were very important for European history. Countries all across the continent were experiencing significant changes, both politically and socially. Now, I made it my New Year's resolution to end my lesson before the bell rings, so we'll call it there. Oh, and by the way, could I have a word, Mark? Oh, I swear to God, those must be the scariest words you could hear. Well, along with I'm pregnant, we have to talk, or it's not you, it's me. Yeah, those are some pretty scary ones, yeah. Hopefully things I won't hear from Sayori. Oh God, just would you imagine hearing I'm pregnant from Sayori just like that? Like, no offense to Sayori, but I'm not even sure if she quite knows how that works. I mean, she said she was good in biology, so I'm probably very much incorrect, and I hope I am. But if that came from, if Sayori would certainly blurt out an "I'm pregnant" line, and then all of a sudden afterwards realize that it's not something you say because she doesn't really know how that works, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if that ever happened, to be honest. Nobody thinks... Yeah, I want to hear from Sayori. Especially that second one. Oh, you think I'm pregnant is less scary than we have to talk? What? I believe we're like 18 at this point. If you want to hear... whatever. It's Japan. It's Japanese culture. We'll let that one slide. I approached the front desk, awkwardly hovering... Is it hovering or hoovering? Whatever, by the side. I need to give you the results of your exams, so here they are. Okay. Add, I need to give you the results of the exams to that list. He pulls out a piece of paper and lowers his voice, as some students are eating nearby. You don't have to look like you've seen a ghost. My mind wanders back to last October. Funny you should mention that. Well, you should mention ghost. For the most part, you've done well. The grades in history, Japan and English especially were satisfactory. Looks like being in the literature club has really helped, huh? How did you know about that? Mark, please. I'm a wise old owl. Aren't you one of the youngest teachers in the school? He sighs dramatically. You can never let me have fun, can you? Although your grades in other subjects could be a little better, namely math and physics. Oh yeah, well that sounds like me. Replace Japanese with Dutch, and then this is literally what my... No, that's not true. Replace Japanese with geography. Then it looks like my exam results. It's not a cause for concern, but I know you can do better. Yeah, about that. Truth be told, last semester was kinda hectic. Relationship stuff. Ah, Sayori. How did you know? His eye twinkles with a knowing smile. Anyway, you're a bright student. Well, when you want to be. So breathe a sigh of relief. I'd recommend paying attention to the technical stuff from math and physics especially. And don't be afraid to ask for help when it's needed. Not everyone can excel at everything, but I've faith in your ability to bring your grades up. Thanks, sir. Past few months weren't easy. Relationships are tricky. So I'm glad I was able to keep up academically at least. He pauses to study me, offering a shrewd smile. Of course. How shrewd! He's shaving away at my armor. Each stroke reveals a little more. Okay, sorry. Just be careful not to make Sayori jealous. From what I've seen, the literature club is full of girls. He chuckles to himself. Now, I've got to go to a meeting that I have to pretend to be interested in. There's really no rest for the wicked. Hey, that's a line from Doom. Well, it's the line from the Bible, I believe, but, you know, it's in Doom as well. With a nod, he turns to leave. As I turn to follow him, my brain keeps replaying these words over to me. Be careful not to make Sayori jealous. Yeah, what the hell do you think that's been happening now? Fumbling for my phone, I noticed that it's a text from Monika, sent to all of the club members in the group chat. Hey guys, just been told that the club room is being used after school today. It's for a supervisor session for people to talk to their teachers about their exam grades. Plus something super important has popped up, which means that I can't make it. I'll do my best to rearrange it. Sorry guys. I mechanically shoot her a reply on autopilot. My brain is whirring at a million miles an hour as I finally realize something I should have seen coming. Before I can say anything, Sayori starts the conversation. So my teacher gave me my exam results back? Oh? Yeah, I can't really complain, I guess. I did much better than I thought I would for biology. Okay, well, I'll scrap that whole pregnant thing. You understand how that works, Sayori. But physics was a bit of a nightmare. Math wasn't great either. But on the whole, I think I've done okay. Sayori, are you jealous of Yuri? The abruptness of my question, along with the clash of conversation topic, takes her by surprise. For a moment, there's a silence. Oh, sorry, I thought I heard something. A silence which grows heavier as I realize how tactless I was with my approach. What makes you think that? You're my girlfriend, and I've known you for years. What would I have to be jealous of? She's trying to sound confident in her answer, but the wavering in her voice gives her away. I don't know, that we spent time together, the Christmas shopping, and her walking home with me yesterday? Sayori turns away, so I can't read the expression on her face. When she replies, she's talking to the ground. I'm sorry, Mark. It's just, you seemed so happy with her, and we're just friends, Sayori. I would have thought you could see that. Don't you trust me? I'm not sure if I want to hear the answer. It's not that I don't trust you, it's that I'm trying to believe that I'm worth your time. And then I hear about how she's your favorite member of the club and you really enjoyed seeing her come out of her shell. So that's why she was asking me. It all makes sense now. First her depression and now the This isn't necessarily jealousy. This is just her depression wriggling its way into like every single interaction with anyone, you know? This is just her depression is making her see things that aren't there. I mean, yes, we spent time together, but her depression is making it seem like I enjoy my time with Yuri much more than I enjoy my time with Sayori, because she still can't really believe that I actually do like spending time with her. And when I asked why Yuri wanted to walk home with you, you said you couldn't tell me. Yeah, that was stupid. That was stupid word choice of my character. I mentally smacked myself. Looking back, of course that answer must have... Yeah, I noticed that, yeah. I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to sound like I doubted you or anything. Sayori and I settle into my house. Once we're comfortable, I continue to press her. No, Sayori, it's not your fault. I didn't really see it from your perspective at all. Please believe me when I say that you're the only one that I want. Yuri is a great friend, but that's it. The feelings I have for her have always been platonic. I wrap her into a hug and she sighs. As I stroke her, she clings to me, hiding her face in the folds of my blazer. I'm the one who should be apologizing. I'm totally new to relationships, so I really don't have a clue what I'm doing. It's okay. I didn't think you were doing it to hurt me or anything. Okay, good, because I'd never do anything to hurt you. I've been such an idiot. I've been such an idiot. Yuri has just been feeling really lonely recently. I briefly fill Sayori in on what Yuri told me yesterday. I'm not entirely sure if I should be telling her this, but at this point in time, I'm much more concerned with complete clarity between Sayori and I. Oh, so that's why. It makes a lot of sense thinking about it, although I can't help but think. She looks down at the ground again, nervously biting her lip. I can't help but feel like Yuri likes you, Mark. Huh, really? You can be really dense sometimes. There's a sad playfulness to her tone. Yes, really, she's trying to spend more time with you. She really appreciates your company. It's subtle, but I can tell by the way she looks at you. I think she gets attached really quickly. But she said she knew we were together and didn't want to intrude on that or anything. Sayori? Maybe I was right then. About what? About me just dragging you down. What can I even give you that Yuri can't? You said it yourself, she's lonely, and if she was with you, then she'd be happy. She's smart, she's really pretty, she's really elegant. And what am I? I'm just an... Oh no, oh come on, Sayori. I'm just an airhead. I can't even find the time to get ready in the morning. I'm just dead weight to you. You're so much more than that, Sayori. Even if Yuri was the most desirable girl on the planet, I wouldn't give a damn, because you're the only person I want. You know something? When I was walking with Yuri yesterday, I couldn't help but wish that it was you I was walking with. It was the only time we didn't walk together, but one time is all I needed to realize how much I enjoy walking home with you. So what if you can't find the time to get ready? In the morning? You're still beautiful, even when you don't try. Oh, Mark. You're just saying that, though. I swear on my life that I'm being 100% genuine. These are the things that I've always wanted to say to you, but I've never really known how. And that's not all. I wake up every day and feel so goddamn lucky knowing that you're my girlfriend. I've always been there. You've always been there for me when I needed it most. I don't think I've ever told you how happy you make me. I pull her in close for a kiss. She clings close to me, and I can sense the urgency in her touch. It's impossible to describe how it feels to hold her in this moment of vulnerability. I don't care about how elegant Yuri is. If I'm being honest, that's That's her, who she is. I much prefer your quirkiness, how silly we can be together. We have that link that no other girl in the world can say they have. We really do have that history together, don't we? A history that I'd never trade for anything. Mark? Please don't leave me. I know I'm being selfish for asking that. You're not. It's still so confusing. But when I'm with you, I feel warm inside. And I think that's, well, just for a moment that maybe everything will be okay. I can't really understand why you care so much about me. But I'll trust you. I'm glad, Sayori. I really am. But if I'm being honest, she looks up at me. We can't do this alone. I think we should be getting you some therapy. She looks away. I'll obviously always be here for you, but I'm just a normal teenage guy. I'm just a regular, everyday, normal motherfucker. I told you in the first song, I tell you in another. There's only so much I can do. I don't know. Why not? It's just a really scary thought. I don't want to go through all that false hope again. Again? I've tried therapy and antidepressants before, Mark. Back when I was first diagnosed with depression. Everyone told me it would work. They told me that I would feel okay again. But that never happened. I was much younger back then and everything was a million times scarier and more confusing. All of those tests, all the questions, the drugs. I didn't know what was wrong with me. The whole thing was terrifying. What I'd give to be a medical professional right now. Wow, Sayori, I had no idea. I wouldn't have expected you to have known. Well, I knew about the antidepressants because, you know, when she was sick for the day, she tried to hide it. Would you believe me if I said things would be different this time around? And how would you know that? I wouldn't, at least for sure. But if we leave this unchecked, how would things ever change? I know it must be really hard for you, believe me. I can only imagine what you're going through. And I totally get why you'd be reluctant to try it again. But I promise you that this time, I'll be here. You wouldn't have to go through it. You wouldn't have to go through all of it alone. I squeeze your hand. Well, we'll get through it together. Yeah, I said that. I fucking said that at the beginning of Act 3. We're not waiting for these rain clouds to go away anymore, Sayori. Together we are fucking punching them away or shooting them. I don't care what the proper verb for that would be. But we're doing that together now. But what if it doesn't work again? We'll find another doctor or another therapist until it does then. It's not going to be easy though. I know, but I'm never going to give up on you. So I don't care about how long it takes. You're so selfless in how much you care for other people's happiness, but I want you to be happy. Do I really deserve that though? If other people deserve happiness, why don't you, Sayori? Just ask yourself that. Please. For me. Okay, for you. It feels like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders. Finally, I feel like I'm not alone in trying to help Sayori anymore. I know that must have been a really difficult thing to agree on. To agree on to. I'm really proud of you. You're much braver than you realize. Although, I haven't been to push you anything, have I? I want to encourage you, not force you. It's something that I would have tried sooner or later, I guess. Well, there's always a chance that therapy might fail again. It's also the only way I could potentially get better. Oh, no, never mind. I thought potentially was written a bit weird. See, that's the spirit. She doesn't look wholly convinced, but smiles anyway. I'll do it for you, Mark. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. I'll take it. I'm not going to hold my breath, but if it makes you happy, I'll give it a try. That's all I can ask for right now. It means a lot to me that you'd be willing to try again. Well, at least I hope this time it works out a little better. This time it works out better because this time I'm here, Sayori. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what it is that I'll have to do, but I'll do it. And I'll make it. And on days when you think, oh, I think this is not working out, I think I'm gonna quit. Those are the days that you'll notice a difference, Yuri, because those are the days that I'll be there. Anyway, I'll talk to my doctor tomorrow. Sounds like a plan. Oh, what the hell? Offer her to join the therapy. This is something that she has to face herself. Okay, I am gonna save, since it is a choice. But just like the one with Yuri, where you are beautiful or your scars are beautiful, this is the easiest one. Of course she's gonna no, of course not! I just made it about a huge rant about, you know, this is a united front now. And the reason, like, I know it's your depression, but it's now also my depression. I'm not suffering from it, but it is my adversary. It is my arch enemy. It is my duty in life to fucking murder it as viciously and as quickly as possible. Not you, but your depression, of course. And why? Not because I have to, or because I want, because I need to, but because I want to. I want to be with you, and I don't want to be with that part of you, and you don't want to be with that part of you either. So together we're going to work together to fucking kill that thing. So of course I'm gonna fucking join. Of course I'm gonna join. I'm not gonna fucking leave you like, oh yeah, bye. send her off to a therapy. Fuck off. Come back when you're happy. Like, no, fuck that. Oh, and Sayori, I can come with you to your therapy sessions if you want. Are you sure? Would they let? Yeah. So Yuri, if they don't let me, then we're immediately finding a different one, because that's not helping you. I think so. I mean, if you tell them you're okay with it, I don't see why not. Just keep me updated, okay? I wouldn't want to miss your first session. Okay then. And thank you. It's kind of daunting to start, so having you around should hopefully make it much easier. I'm just glad I can help. Yeah. Of course. But this is something you have to face alone. What the hell? That is such a fucking stupid... Why would anyone in their right mind want to fucking choose that option? That just feels like what I said. Like, throw her away towards a therapist. Fuck off. Come back when you're happy again, and then I'll be your boyfriend again. Bye. See you later. Like that's how that feels. Like you have to face this alone. Like no, you don't have to face that alone. That is like ridiculously tough. That is like the toughest like challenge in your life so far, because you know, but you're trying to battle the feeling that you want to quit your life. So it is the battle of your life. It is the toughest battle of your life. Of course I'm gonna be there. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why anyone would select that second option and still feel good about themselves. It doesn't make any sense to me. Before we know it, the weekend has already arrived. It's been a few days since Sayori agreed to try therapy. With a slight nudge from me, she spoke to her doctor, who managed to arrange her for her first therapy session tomorrow. As relieved as I am with such a speedy response, I'm still fairly apprehensive. Seeing how pervasive her condition is, interfering with her ability to get homework done, twisting her self-perception, it's been daunting. I can't lie. I guess just seeing how serious depression is has been a shock to my system. A part of me does worry that somehow me getting involved is actually a bad thing. No, that part of you is wrong. Perhaps I'm somehow making it more complicated. Do I really know what I'm getting into here? No, you don't. But that doesn't matter. Because at this point, you don't have to be a medical expert in order to help Sayori. You just have to be her boyfriend, and that's what you're being if you go along to a therapy session and just sit there and shut the fuck up and hold her hands. That's all you need to do, really. Because then it shows that you care. It shows that you have initiative. It shows that you want her to be better. It shows that you know that she doesn't want that depressed feeling in her mind anymore, and you want to help her get rid of that. And you want to fight for it just as much as she wants to get rid of it. Yeah, don't listen to that silly irrational side. Let's look at the positives. She agreed to get some help, so this is the first step to recovery. Recycling, what the fuck? I read an R and a Y in the word, and all of a sudden that means recycling in my mind. Yeah, that's true. Plus, I'm going with her, so at least we're making this step together, right? It should be fine. Being a chronic over worrier truly is a curse. Being with Sayori makes me happy. It's best to focus on that and stop worrying about what could go wrong. Because if I constantly focus on the negatives, well, that's no good for anyone. Stay positive. Optimistic outlook, Mark. Optimistic outlook. After completing my morning routine, I find myself sitting at my kitchen aimlessly wondering about how to spend the day. One of the drawbacks of your first relationship is that you don't really know what you're meant to do with your partner. It's too cold to spend much time outdoors, so we're limited to the indoors. I check my watch. 10:14 AM. Pretty early, so Yuri wouldn't even be awake yet. As my gaze idly settles on the used plates in front of me, an idea hits me. Also, Yuri would love this. About half an hour later, my work is done and carefully placed into a bag. Oh, did I cook something? I make the trip over to her room, hoping that she's still asleep. As I was hoping, she's fast asleep. No surprise, given it's not even 11 yet. As I approach her, I'm struck by how cute she looks when she's sleeping. Wait, that didn't sound super creepy, did it? I mentally chastised myself. Stop being so weird, Mark. By the way, she's curled up into a ball, even with her hair being a mess and a slight trickle of drool leaking from her mouth. She's perfect. I don't think there's any way that this girl could ever look anything less than beautiful. The light signs of her snoring turn my light smile into a heartfelt grin. Yeah, that would make sense. Sitting on my back, I quietly walk over to her, gently brush her lock of hair that's fallen into her open mouth. Also, by the way, I once again just casually break into her house, while she is, I guess, the only one, because I have never really seen her parents here yet. So I guess her parents are either also away or just like don't exist, because this is an anime to some extent. She stirs slightly as my hand brushes against her forehead. Wakey wakey, sleepyhead. 5 more minutes. I made you breakfast. She groggily sits up and rubs her eyes, hugging the blanket closer to her. You didn't have to, Mark. I can't help but feel disappointed and slightly irritated by— No, don't feel irritated by her reaction, you idiot. I was really looking forward to seeing how exuberant she'd be. What time is it? Like 11? Yawning, she pushes over the covers and sits up. She still looks quite tired. She gingerly opens the bag and forces a smile onto her face. You can thank your dear sunshine poem for inspiration, especially that last line. I want breakfast. God, I'm so selfish. I have such a thoughtful boyfriend who has been super considerate and made me breakfast in bed, and I can't even thank you properly. You went through all this just for me. Anyone else would be really appreciative, and yet here I am, complaining that you're here. Huh? No, it's not like that at all. I mean, yeah, I was hoping you'd be a little happier to see me, but well, it's kind of on me for forgetting how difficult mornings can be for you. Don't worry about it. You can tell that my words haven't convinced her in the slightest. And I don't get the feeling that you don't want me to be here. Relax. She slowly starts chewing on the food. This is really good. It's really basic stuff, to be honest, but I'm glad you like it. Natsuki's cooking has nothing on me, as you can see. How is it that you can make me laugh, even when it's the last thing I want to do? Magic, I think. Maybe I was a comedian in my past life. It's a question that science has been trying to answer for the past 100 or so years. By the way, can we have a lazy day today? I don't really feel like going outside or anything. Fine by me. Oh yeah, okay, I was about to say this is my living room, but yeah, we make our way back to mine. We've pretty much resumed our standard activity of cuddling on the sofa. Maybe my earlier worries were unfounded after all. We're both content in just being in each other's presence, regardless of the activity. I'm aimlessly flicking through the movie channel on TV. I whip out my phone. Oh, it's Yuri. Hey Mark, what's up? Not much. Yuri carries on typing and she's taking an awful long time to reply. I get the feeling that she's plucking up the courage to ask me something. Oh god, well, I was wondering. Go on. Would you like to discuss the book with me today? I haven't read much of it, TBH. I think the movie version is on Netflix though. Hang on, let me check. What's up? Oh, you know that book Yuri lent me? I'm checking to see if it's on Netflix. We're gonna have a horror night? Well, I told Yuri I'd let her know my thoughts of the book with her, but I haven't really read enough of it to discuss it. But if I can't find it on Netflix, then I thought we could all watch it together instead. That's not no. No. That's a bit of a bad. On any other day after Sayori's depression is a bit cured, yes, then that would be a good idea. But how can you already forget how she thought about, like, how my interactions with Yuri are? Ah, here it is. Oh, are you okay with it? Of course. I'd be a terrible friend if I stopped her from coming over. Other people are out there having tough times too. She shifts her attention to the television, a wan smile on her face. Okay, I figured that if you were here too, you wouldn't feel like I was, I don't know, leaving you out or anything. It's fine, Mark. Dear God, that clown looks even uglier on the big screen. I never liked clowns. Good news, I found it. You can come over, so Yuri's here too, by the way. Are you sure that I wouldn't be interrupting anything? Yeah, no, she said she's fine with it. Like, idiots! Idiot. Didn't she literally just a few minutes, hours, don't know how long it was ago, say, can we have a lazy day? We, not Yuri and I. Yeah, like you, Yuri and I. No, we. You, like me and her. Just us two. And then I just... Like, on any other day almost, this would be fine. But no, just like when she's having a really bad day because she was really having trouble to get out of bed properly and she felt really bad because she couldn't thank me properly. So she just wanted to take a relaxed day and then I just fucking bombard Yuri in there. Should have just been honest to Yuri and said, oh crap, I haven't really read much of it. Maybe, tomorrow or something to discuss it, and then we could do this movie thing another time. One text later, and Yuri is... What? Wow, that's fast! Yuri is waiting outside my door, book in hand. Hey Yuri, come on in, so Yuri's in the living room. Good afternoon, Mark. Thank you for suggesting this. By the way. I haven't seen the movie version yet. Yeah, neither have I. It should be interesting. Hey Yuri. Yuri smiles in greeting. I've heard good things about the film adaptation, so I'm hopeful that it will be enjoyable. Only one way to find out. As predicted, Sayori is a massive chicken, jumping at every loud noise and suspenseful scene. On the other hand, Yuri seems totally engrossed in the movie, never once looking away during an ominous scene. For the most part, it's difficult to read her face as she remains fairly impassive. Although a look of wonder and interest occasionally flickers across her face, especially when the monster is on the screen. It's definitely one of the better horror movies I've watched, granted that it isn't saying much as I haven't seen too many. I always found the clown so annoying in the beginning, with Georgie, I believe that kid's called, with that little boat that runs down in the drain, and then the clown is sitting there and then asking him if he wants the boat back. The way he talks in that scene, like his accent or whatever, I just like, it triggers something in me. I don't know what it is, but I just want to fucking punch the guy in the face. Just the way he talks. I don't know what it is. It just triggers me so immensely, and I just get so fucking annoyed by it. So yeah, I know it's supposed to be a scary scene, and you know the build up is quite nice, you know, where you immediately know, like, don't fucking trust a random ass fucking clown hanging out in the sewer drains, and like asking you to come super close so he can fucking snatch you and kill you. So, you know, I know that the scene itself is good, but just the way the fucking clown, the way he talks, I don't know what it is exactly, but it triggers something within me, and it triggers me so much that I just can't, like, find it, like, scary. I'm so pissed off all the time. So that's over the scary part. Although one of the other, I have actually seen a bunch of horror. Because, you know, as I said, horror is also a genre that I really like. Which is why I was like, you know, one of the many things I have in common with Yuri. What was it? There was a like one of the horror movies that come to mind that I believe is also on Netflix. The Autopsy of Jane Doe, I believe it's called, which is a really good one as well. Where I believe I watched that together with my dad, even like a few years ago. It's a really good one as well. Where I won't spoil everything, but if you haven't seen it, go watch it. But it's about a father and a son who perform an autopsy on an unnamed, like a corpse. They name like corpses that they can't identify or like they don't have any record of. They call them Jane Doe. I guess that's like a normal thing or whatever. Like the most generic name ever, or is that or whatever, or like it's like a standard name. When you see a coroner's report for a person named Jane Doe, then like they know, oh, this is an unidentified person, or like there's no record of this person or whatever. Because and then like a family was murdered or whatever, and they found her corpse there, and then like the father and the son had to do an autopsy, and then they get locked in their morgue as they try to do the autopsy, and then the further they go on, the more weird shit they discover in the corpse, and the more weird shit happens and stuff. It's really well done. Yeah, what else is a horror movie that I remember? The Witch. It's called The Witch, but it's written with 2 V's instead of a W, so I always say The Witch. Which is quite nice because it's a very historically accurate as well, about pilgrims and a witch in the forest. And that fucking goat is super freaky, like a black demon goat. And then there's like witches in the forest, and then that team gets kind of like roped into. Everybody's thinking that she's the witch, and you know, like stuff happens and stuff. Really nicely done. Silence, I believe it's called, or something along those lines, with those monsters that can hear very well, and you have to be quiet. And then there's that girl that has to give birth, like right when one of those creatures is nearby, and she has to like not make any sound because you know those creatures are blind, but they can hear super well or whatever. I believe it's called like Silence or something along those lines, or it has something to do with sound in the name. It's really good. Get Out is a great one as well, with that guy that gets hypnotized. That's Get Out, right? The guy that gets hypnotized. On the more funny slasher horror movies, there is that other one that I can't recall. I know Samara Weaving is the actress in the movie. It's about where she gets married into a family, and then they have to play hide and seek. I'm pretty sure that the game that the movie's called Hide and Seek because the game that they play is hide and seek, and then it takes a murderous twist where they have a pact with the devil or whatever, and it's super cool. The Babysitter is also a really good one. Also with Samara Weaving, or is it Samara Weaving or Samantha Weaving? I don't know. Yeah, that's also like a more funny slasher type of movie. It's really funny and like nicely done. There's a lot of gore in there as well. Yeah, and then of course the classic Alien. Of course, Alien, awesome. In the Tall Grass is a Netflix original, I believe. It's also pretty cool, pretty freaky. On a Stephen King, based on a Stephen King novel, I believe. It's extremely freaky, especially that part where they figure out that the grass is like has magical properties, where they jump both at the same time, and then they walk a little bit and they jump once again, and they're suddenly like within a few minutes they jump once, and then like 1 minute or like 1 minute after they jump again, and in that time they move from this close apart to like fucking miles apart, and then that's extremely freaky because like the realization that there's creepy shit going on hits the characters in the movie and you at the exact same time, and that's extremely well done. And you know, as they try to escape, and then they figure out the fucking time loop and shit's super confusing and scary at the same time. Yeah, that's it. That's everything I can think of right now. How did I derail this conversation so heavily? Oh god. I have to admit, the acting in this film really sells it. Both the clown and the young kids who serve as the protagonists are brought to life really well. Oh no, please don't tell me they're gonna go in that creepy building. Ah, why would you go in there? It's just a nightmare waiting to happen. She ducks behind a cushion, only peering out intermittently, I guess. Something she took to doing once the clown was first introduced. I laugh and pull her closer. She cuddles into my shoulder, turning her face so she can still see. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch Yuri quickly throwing us a glance. From my periphery vision, it's hard to tell, but she looks a little sad. Yeah, Yuri, fucking also completely on her own, you know, because of course she lost both her parents and doesn't really have any family to rely on for some reason. And yeah, then she just sees like what she kind of wants. She wants like someone special in her life to do that with. I grimace a little. Clearly I forgot how isolated Yuri feels at home. Watching Sayori and I cuddle is probably a painful reminder. Especially if Sayori's prediction about how Yuri feels about me is true. An hour or so later and the movie is over. It's been really interesting to hear Yuri's thoughts. Not just on the movie, but on the horror genre on the whole. And that's something I admire about both the book and the movie. How both approach and present the main theme of fear. A lot of the film adaptations of books tend to over-sensualize the content, and many horror movies rely on cheap jump scares to elicit a reaction. Of course, there's nothing inherently wrong with a jump scare, but if I find the best... Yeah, you should say that, because there are some jump scares in this game as well, during that nightmare sequence, for example, during the Yuri route. But I find the best horror tends to really get under your skin and makes you think. Yeah, well, the best is just like what I find of course, fear of the unknown is like one of the strong, if not, I may even be the strongest fear ever. Like just not knowing what the fuck is happening. That's why, like, you know, knowledge is power. Especially in horror, because like if you take Five Nights at Freddy's for example, when I played it for the first time, it was by far the scariest game I've ever played, because, you know, it was known you were stuck in your fucking office chair in your office, and you were like waiting for those demonic animatronics to come towards you, and you had to fucking close doors, and you couldn't close them. You would just close both doors and sit there until 6 a.m. and then go home. But you can't, because, you know, power and stuff. So you have to leave the doors open. You have to wait until them to get extremely close and then close the doors. But you don't know that, of course, when you first play. You have to figure it out by trial and error. So you just sit there in your office freaking out, looking at the cameras, making yourself nervous because you can't find them, and then you look for them and you still can't find them. It makes you more nervous, which makes you waste more power, which makes you more nervous, which makes you look for them even harder, and then it just goes crazy and crazier. But eventually, when you figure out the rhythm, you figure out what you're doing, and then now I can play Five Nights. The only time I get scared in Five Nights at Freddy's is, you know, like when something unexpected happens and there's a jump scare as a result of it. But, you know, like, the knowledge is power especially in horror, and like Five Nights at Freddy's is an example. When you know what you need to do, it isn't scary anymore, because the scariest part is that you're sitting there in your office chair, you're not knowing what you need to do, and you're freaking out because you're trying to survive and not get killed by murderous robots. And, you know, the knowledge makes that fear go away, because you know what you need to do. You know that you don't have to be scared, because you know when, like, if you look at the camera, you can see Bonnie standing at the left hallway or whatever at Camp 2B. You're like, oh, don't worry, I don't have to be scared, because he can't get me. Only if I press the lights on the door, that's when he can get me. So, you know, yeah. To touch on that topic, Yuri, I can definitely carry an interesting conversation about horror with you. Well, after you finished. Yeah, I agree. Jump scares just annoy me, really. They startle you, sure, and the build-up can be tense. Yeah, the worst part is like a build-up to a jump scare that never happens. That's also extremely mean. And then it doesn't happen, and then it suddenly does actually happen. That happens in a lot of fucking horror movies. It builds up, and you're like completely prepared, and you feel yourself tensing up, and then nothing happens. You're like, okay, nothing happens, and then it suddenly does actually happen. Like, But from what I've seen, horror movies make it really obvious when one's coming up. The music goes really quiet or really spooky and the character is in a dark place. Indeed, sadly it's quite the common occurrence with modern horror. There's not much left to your imagination. I can't help but notice that Sayori's been very quiet throughout the discussion Yuri and I are having. You okay, Sayori? I don't really have much to say. You two carry on, I'm fine. She's looking absent-mindedly at the screen. It's unfortunate that the second part of the movie isn't out yet. It's like being able to only read half of the book. The second part is about how the characters come back to find the clown when they're adults, right? I haven't seen it too, but I heard it was not as great as the first one. Indeed, and that's where the plot really shines. Anyway, I have some errands to be getting on with, so I'm going to have to leave. Thank you both, by the way, I really appreciate it. That's okay, Yuri, I hope you're feeling better. Yuri turns to me. Oh, did you tell her? Oh crap, my face grows hot. In my haste to reassure Sayori that nothing was going on between Yuri and I totally forgot that Yuri's confession was likely confidential. Oh damn, yeah, I did. Sorry, Yuri, I didn't realize it was private. It's okay. I suppose it's only fair that there's clarity between two people in a relationship. Phew, I'm glad that Yuri is so understanding. Anyway, I'll see you two on Monday. Goodbye. See ya. Bye, Yuri. As Yuri leaves, I turn to Sayori. She's looking a little rueful. I hope you're right about therapy, Mark. I'm dreading tomorrow. It's going to be just fine, don't worry. I hope so. I should probably get going as well. I'll see you tomorrow. And with a wave, she departs. And she departs as well. Okay. Oh god, I seriously... Like with Act 3, with Yuri's routes, it was like Act 2 was like bumpy roads, but like still doable, like all character development, and then like a little bit like hint drops here and there, but nothing too severe. And then Act 3 was like heavy stuff. No, in Act 2 Yuri showed me the did she? I don't know. Anyway, it went. I can't really remember. I'm like everything is a bit of like it all like seems one continuous line, Yuri's route. So I can't really pinpoint where exactly Act 2 started or where Act 3 started. You know. But yeah, with Yuri, I remember like mostly it was good. It was fine. There was a little bit here and there, and then all of a sudden, boom, heavy problems or heavy shit during the argument and all that stuff. So I'm dreading that moment where that comes up with Sayori, and the only way I can think about it is if I, like, literally stumble into her room or, like, whatever, and then she is literally about to, like, has a noose on her neck or whatever, and I really hope that that is not the case. That I actually have to talk her out of it, like, oh god. Anyway, I'm gonna end off the episode here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Click the like button if you did. Subscribe to join the Roman army, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, Romans. Valete.